Hi, I'm Kevin Williams, founder of Team Vision, a digital marketing and media company that was founded accidentally when I was on a journey of exploring the most effective ways to market. My marketing strategy was like most entrepreneurs through radio ads, business cards, door hangers, billboards, and word of mouth. I quickly learned that traditional marketing, unlike digital marketing, cannot be measured. Our company's existence was built on growing businesses by effective marketing that can be measured. Remember, if you want to do something that's been done before, you can always hire a manager. If you want to do something that's never been done before, you can always hire a visionary.
Working with Team Vision has been truly transformational for myself in my personal life, and then just, of course, within my business itself. I've been able to receive increased exposure from my company. I've generated several leads that I would have never thought otherwise possible, and in a very short amount of time. It has been beneficial for me to see the importance of marketing my business and getting the name of my brand out there and connecting with people who can now see me and understand what I'm doing in the industry of branding.
Hey, welcome to Unlocking Opportunities, the live streaming show where the keys to success are in your hands. I'm your host, Kevin D. Williams, and I am thrilled. Let me say that again. I am thrilled to embark on this journey of exploration, inspiration, and of course, unlocking opportunities together. So here's what you're going to get. In each episode, we're going to delve into the realms of business, entrepreneurship, and personal development. We'll be chatting with industry leaders, visionaries, and individuals who have turned their dreams into reality. It's not just a show, it's an experience designed to expand your horizons and equip you with the tools to create your path to success. So fasten your seatbelts, open your minds, and get ready for a live streaming adventure where the possibilities are truly limitless. This is Unlocking Opportunities. Let's dive in. And I want to bring on the show this afternoon, this evening, or this morning, depending on when and where you're going to be watching this amazing Unlocking Opportunity interview. But I have on the show none other than the amazing, she's a superstar, she's a league in her own rights, Miss Kellie B. Brooks, author, entrepreneur, and book publishing coach. And when I say that this young lady is on a mission to develop in the next 36 months 1,500, I didn't say 15, I didn't say 150. You heard me right. 1,500 self publishing authors in the next 36 months. And guess what? She's now down to 1,499 because I became one of those self published authors that she coached me through the process. So, Kellie, welcome and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Williams. We're
Yeah,
both wearing
absolutely.
green. I think that's pretty cool.
And it's the season of money, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, look, winter, spring, summer, fall is still the season of money.
Right. Exactly. That's how an entrepreneur thinks of it, right?
Yes. So Kelly, let's dive right in. First question I have for you, even inspire you to become a book publishing coach? Because most people just stop at just being an author, and that's good enough for them. But you said no, no. I'm not just going to be an author. I want to be a book publishing coach. What was the inspiration behind that?
So, yeah, you're right. I started off as an author. I authored two children's books. The first was Francesca Finds Her Father, and the
Mm-hmm.
next was Francesca Faces Her Fear. And
Mm-hmm.
so those books, they were quite a success. It appealed to a lot of people. And
Mm-hmm.
there were some people that I met along the way. I would do book signing events and just promotional events for the books. And it inspired a lot of people. And tons of people would come to me, they would share their stories, and they would also tell me they didn't know where to begin. Even some of them having had written their books already, they still didn't know where to end and how to get their books actually published. So I would
Mm-hmm.
hear this constantly, throughout the experience. And eventually I said, you know what, I've done it twice. Let me see if I can help these people to become published authors. And so that's what I decided to do, turned it into a business.
All right. So just in case someone is just getting here and watching for the first time, and of course, I shared a success story, but I want you to share a success story of an author that you coached through the publishing process, and like walk us through that. Like, what was this person at first with writing a book, and how were you able to bring the book to life?
Okay, so I'm going to use you as the perfect example because you're an amazing entrepreneur and you've been wanting to write a book for, I think, about 15 years, right?
Hmm.
So, and you shared your experience where you had some companies that wanted to work with you, and they asked you for your book. Because that's just the thing. You usually, if you are an industry leader, you most likely have a book published, and
Hmm.
you explained that you didn't have one at that time, and you referred them to another book, and that book made a ton of money from your
Hmm.
reference.
Hmm.
So that's the story I love to use because you and I worked together and we put a lot of work into creating the book that you really wanted, and it was very easy. You're an easy client to work with because it was very simple. You just wanted something to showcase your expertise, and that's exactly what we did. And less than 60 days later, we produced Unlocking Opportunities, which has been quite a success. So it's a success story I love to share with everyone.
You're right, Kelly. And actually, it was less than 60 days. It was what, 27, 29 days to be exact. That
Just
the book
about.
was, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I mean, and now even from the book, there's this show, unlocking opportunities. And so,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even been thinking like this had you never pulled that book out of me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be a part of your journey.
Hmm. So, how do you guide authors in navigating the challenges of self-publishing? Like, what does that look like?
So let me just go back to what the challenges are. Most of the time, the challenge is time. So everyone has responsibilities. They have their families, they have their jobs, just different things going on in life. And so
Hmm.
being able to actually sit down and write a book, that's the biggest challenge, the time thing. And a lot of times people struggle with the writing portion. That's the second challenge. And
Hmm.
so with Kelly B Books takes all of that off of the writer's hands. And basically I do the legwork, but I would call and, ask a few questions. Start off with a small consultation about your vision for your book. And then
Hmm.
along the way, I'm doing the legwork. I'll call you and ask a few key point questions, some things that I may not have known that you want, because I'm trying to gather the look and the feel of the book that you want to produce. And
Hmm.
we get a book. So it's really not, the process is very simple. A short interview with you, and then I take it from there.
Mm. And so, what's the advice do you have for the writers who are considering self-publishing for the first time?
So my advice would be exactly what my slogan is: do it now or do it never. Because, like I
How
said,
did you come up with that slogan? What's the story behind that? No, share the
so
story. I want to know.
like I said, the people have have been wanting to write a book for many, many years. They don't do it because they just don't have the time. So this is how I came up with it. It was the quarantine time for me, for everybody.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I had been wanting to write a book for about 10 years. It had been
Hmm.
existing in my head for 10 years. And it's funny because I talk to people that say even longer, 20 years, 30 years. And so the quarantine time became an opportunity. You know, the first 2 weeks or so, we were kind of just figuring out what's going on in the world. Where, are we able to leave the house? All of these,
Hmm.
it was just kind of chaotic. And this awful, awful time actually became like a renaissance because I said, it's time for me to write my book. There's nothing to do now. We're sitting here. I was off from work for 11 weeks. And there we go. I said either I do it now or do it never.
Mm.
Hmm. And that's when the launch of the Francesca series took place.
Really?
Hmm.
And so, how many books have you successfully written?
I've written two children's books, and
Okay.
that's mhm, that's really, you would think that's not enough, but after the experience I had, I decided to transition from writing into helping others.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so, in your experience, what are some common misconceptions that authors have about the self-publishing industry?
So the self-publishing industry lately is not it's not viewed the way it used to be viewed. So years ago, people would pitch their book to a traditional book publishing
Hmm.
company, and
Hmm.
that was the way to go. And the problem with that is that they take pretty much all of the creative control away from the client, and it's very unlikely that they would invest in a person that's not a celebrity, right? So
Hmm.
if you were to self-publish, let's say 30 years ago, then it was kind of like it was frowned upon because it was like the cheap route. But now the economy has transformed into putting the power into the client's hands, with even
Hmm.
things like Uber and things of that nature. We are now self-publishing is not frowned upon; it's actually preferred because the client now has creative control and they can retain most of their royalties.
Mm.
Mhm.
So the game has really changed, huh?
Yes, definitely.
And so, how do you assist these authors in building an effective marketing strategy for their books? Or do you even do that, or do you outsource that out? What does that look like?
So marketing, no, we do not do any of the marketing. Of course,
Hmm.
my desire is for everyone to, once they finish their book, like I
Hmm.
said, I retain none of the royalties, but I really hope that they are successful. Their success is just like a happy ending for me. But no, we do not. We do not help. I can give a few tips to them, but that's as far as we go with marketing.
Okay. Are you like at some point going to be working on outsourcing that? So when they finish, you know, the finish writing the book, then they can just go right into the strategy for marketing the book.
Yes, that would be the next phase of my business. Hopefully, we'll
Hmm.
be able to kick that off pretty soon.
Okay. And last question, can you share some key trends or emerging opportunities in the self-publishing industry that authors should be aware of?
Well, of course, AI has taken the world by force, right? So,
Hmm.
and a lot of times we would see it as an offense because, me, myself being a writer, that's,
Hmm.
to use AI was like offensive. But we can actually use it as a tool. And so that's what's trending now. Some clients that have difficulty with their writing, if they prefer to be the writer, then I actually encourage them to use AI as a tool to gain some subjects to discuss, and they can
Mhm.
write from there. So you can even gather some key points and then expand on that. So AI is not the enemy. So that is the new trend.
Okay. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your insight, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge on you know being a self-published author. And let me ask you this last question, because earlier in the show I mentioned that your goal is to produce 1,500 self-published authors in the next 36 months. What's the reason behind that?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So, being an author, like, I've read somewhere that it's almost like having a master's degree.
Hmm.
And if you are an author in your field, you're going to be viewed as an expert. And so the reason behind this goal is because I want to see people succeed in their field. I want to see them, uh, you know, just let me think about this, how I should say this. Uh,
Hmm.
I want them to be successful, and I want people to also. There are some people that would write a book for just to leave a legacy, and there are often times where people pass away never having told their story. So that's why it's my goal to get our stories out there and to help empower the people.
And you have you have workshops, right? So how can people learn more about your, the events that you have coming up? What's the one way that they can reach out and learn more about the workshops that you do?
So they can check me out on www.kelliebooks.com,
Okay,
KELLIE, B as in boy, books.com. And
cool.
I do have, they can sign up, subscribe to my newsletters, and they can
Okay.
receive all types of information that way.
All right, great. Well, that concludes another incredible episode, Unlocking Opportunities. I trust you have gathered inspiration, gained valuable insights, and just embrace a fresh perspective on unlocking the boundless potentials within each of us. And I want to give a heartfelt thank you to our phenomenal guest, Kellie Brooks,
Thank
who
you.
genuinely shared her story, her wisdom, her expertise. And just remember, the journey to success is ongoing, and each opportunity is a stepping stone towards your goal. So before we sign off, make sure that you like our social media platforms, because your support is truly appreciated. And if there are specific topics or guests that you love to see on this show, feel free to drop your suggestions in the comments below. And until our next rendezvous, continue dreaming, keep hustling, and keep unlocking those opportunities. This is Kevin D. Williams signing off from Unlocking Opportunities, wishing you boundless success until our paths cross again. Take care, stay inspired, and embrace those opportunities to the fullest.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Williams.
Thank you for being on. Take care, take charge. Hey, business owner and entrepreneur. I know many businesses make the mistake of thinking that marketing is all about making a sale. However, marketing is actually much more than that. It's about creating a relationship with your customers and building trust. That's why it's so important to avoid making common marketing mistakes. Our new ebook, and I love it, The 7 Biggest Lies Told About Marketing Your Business, can help you do just that. In it, we cover 7 of the most common marketing mistakes businesses make, including failing to identify their target audience, not tracking their results, and more. We also provide tips on how to avoid making these mistakes. So whether you're just starting out in marketing or you've been doing it for a while, be sure to check out our ebook. It could save your business from making costly mistakes. Download our ebook today.
So it was a joy to work with Team Vision. It was easy. It was, I guess, like it wasn't complicated. And they were great customer service and made me feel at ease. So I would enjoy working with them again. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 11. I highly recommend this Team Vision to do your video work.